hey, Rusty may be right, our fact checker. He emailed after the day I had yesterday where I didn't have car or phone, and he said, you know what could have helped you? Apple Watch. If you had had the watch, you could have messaged one. Is that true?
Well, if you see, you wouldn't pay for the extra service. The Apple Watch, as long as, which I have it this way set up too, if you're in like 100 feet of your phone, it works because it's part on the same network.
Yeah.
Now, you can pay an additional like $40 to $45 a month where your watch has its own separate network.
No.
Now, you have the money for it, but you would never pay the extra.
I'm not going to do that. I don't really have that kind of cash.
Right.
To pay. Plus, we've got a new little addition, our little Franklin, our little puppy. Now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm shocked your bank didn't call you yesterday because you've had some expensive days.
900, dropped 900 twice on the van and then the puppy.
Yeah, so I'm shocked that your bank wasn't like, whoa.
Yeah, what's going
Suspicious.
on? What's going on here? Luckily, we've canceled all travel. There's no travel because I'm grounded. You know, there's no
travel ban.
No travel coming up.
When's the big cross border road trip to Tennessee? August.
Yes, that is August. That's like August 14th, but now August 15th. But now my son says, you know, I don't really need you to come with me if you don't want to. I mean, we want to see it, but with the puppy at home, you know what to do.
See, I thought the family had rolled a Dollywood trip into this.
Well, we're trying to. But
I can only imagine. I bet there were two different answers at the same time from your son saying that. You go, okay, and your wife go, no.
We will not let you
I know.
drive across state lines.
So that's still up in the air. But yeah, we're trying to roll a Dollywood trip into it and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, with the recent addition to the family, I've said, let's just pump the brakes on a little spending here and there, you know? This is that woman. You're talking about how much you depend on your phone. And, of course, I know a lot of people order things from DoorDash and so forth. A woman in Atlanta got an edible arrangement. These are fruits that are, you know, look beautiful. And she wasn't ordering it as a gift. She was going to eat it for herself, which is exactly what she was. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of anyone ordering one for themselves.
I want fruit, but I don't want to go to the store to get it. I want someone else to prepare it, drop it at my door, and charge me 3 times the price.
It's exactly what she did.
I want you to cut my pineapple into a flower.
Nobody wants to cut open a pineapple or a cantaloupe.
She was willing to pay. Her name is Diamond Jones.
And by the way, receiving an edible arrangement is a terrible gift because it's a curse. You're never going to eat everything in time before it goes bad.
That's true.
Yeah. So I've had family members pass and we've gotten them, and it's always the same reaction. Like, oh, this is going to take up a bunch of room in the fridge. We're not going to eat half this fruit.
We're going to get fruit flies.
Right. Yes.
It is the curse.
Well, Diamond Jones ordered it for herself.
Diamond Jones.
Diamond Jones is her name.
It smells like an influencer.
Well, she put it up on Instagram. You tell me. Maybe she faked it. Maybe she did. But the local news did a piece on it. She ordered from Edible Arrangements. She got the fruit basket. The way it comes is it's beautiful fruit, and the bottom of it is in a box with a hole in the box. So, you know, it comes out of it looks like a little cardboard vase, basically. It's, you know, size of a rectangle. It's a rectangle. And so she eats some of it and then decides to take it out of the box and put it in her refrigerator. And when she does, she discovers what she claims to be soiled underpants. So,
wrapped around
in the bottom
packing?
of the box. Yeah, like in the bottom of the box. So she takes the fruit out, and there in the hole of the hollow box
to keep the package from shifting during shipping.
Could that be
instead of styrofoam peanuts?
She didn't understand it.
So start eating the edible arrangement, and I was going to put it up. And I take it out of the box, and that's when I noticed the box was a little heavy, and something just told me to reach my hand in. I reached my hand in, and it's some dirty draws.
We got dirty draws. Okay? That's dirty draws in the bottom of the box of an edible arrangement. And not just dirty. Here's the reporter.
The underwear were so soiled that we have to blur it out completely, but you might be able to make out the discoloration in the crotch area.
We can't show it to you, but we think you know.
This is too graphic.
And these are ladies' draws?
Ladies' draws.
So someone's got a stank crotch in the ATL.
Put it in the edible arrangement box. or Diamond Jones is fooling all of us and doing this over to me.
Perhaps, but would she be putting her own underpants on display?
Well,
does someone have a grudge against Diamond Jones?
she said, Diamond Jones says, they're not my draws.
It was a large. And I'm like, I'm a big girl, so I can't fit those.
Large is too small for Diamond Jones.
Okay. All right.
My doctor told me to eat more fruit.
So still up in the air. It's like, on her Ring video cam, she's got the person delivering it with no issue. She goes to the door and takes it from her.
I'm going to ask this, and it may be, indelicate. Was the delivery person a large size woman? Not larger, but a woman who would wear a large size underwear.
Yes. I would say it was a woman that probably would wear the size large underwear.
Okay, because what could happen, we've all been traveling, working, stomach hits. You're not going to make it. Is it possible that this woman didn't make it, and what you think, I don't think she did it on purpose, but maybe she balled it up and was like, oh my God, I got to get this edible, and she just tossed it into the back seat.
So in your mind, Biggie, this is Diamond Jones just as a total random victim.
Yeah.
Not targeted.
Not targeted, but then you deliver the edible arrangement, you get back in your car like, I got to get home. And then you're like, oh no, where's the underwear?
Where'd that go?
Oh, I tossed it in the back seat. It bounced off the ceiling just right and landed in her edible arrangement.
I don't know, because those cardboard, it's like a stabilizer. It keeps the edible arrangement from tipping over in the driver in the vehicle.
And the fruit is in it, so it would have to, you have to lift it out to put it in the hole. Plus, I'm assuming the fruit had like a cellophane over the top. Wouldn't you think?
It does.
I don't think so. Unless she did that into a box and then her later put the edible arrangement in there, didn't see the soiled underpants.
Okay. Now that goes back to the shop the edible arrangement was made in.
Well, right.
Was it the Packer?
Did the Packer have an emergency? He says, she says.
They have access to toilets, you would think.
Yeah, but sometimes, but what if she was on the way to the toilet?
Biggie, what is happening to you on the road? You keep saying we've all done it. We have not all done this.
Look, we've all been at work where it just hits you and you're trying to make it, but you can't. It just comes. So then she gets into the bathroom, she cleans herself up, and she's like, what am I going to do with these stupid, messed up underwear? And she just throws it into a box, not thinking. I'm trying to give them benefit of the doubt.
I see that. I can respect you. We need to explore all sides.
I think it could be a disgruntled employee getting ready to leave edible arrangements and
I'm tired of cutting fruit all day.
I'm just not going to do this anymore.
And I mean, gone by the wayside is the fact that Diamond ordered fruit for herself.
She did.
An edible Biggie's right. I mean, that's a gift. For the bereaved.
Stunning. It's always a gift. Yeah. Always. So when she bought it for herself, I was like, what? And she ate it. So, I mean, it could be her just wanting to be, get some clicks. Who knows?
But that's a strange flex.
It is, especially, well, you heard the condition of the underpants.
The underwear were so soiled that we have to blur it out completely, but you might be able to make out the discoloration in the crotch area.
We've circled it here, but it's still blurry.
They blurred. I couldn't make it. I mean, you could see some discoloration.
Was it poo, pee, blood, all of them?
It was like, all the above. All of the above. He went on to describe, he's like, you can see poo, pee, blood, all of it. It's all there.
Genital lubrication, male, female.
We messed these up.
I mean, big time.
These are the stankest drawers in the ATL.
Mystery remains, what of hashtag Diamond Jones and her hashtag Dirty Draws? And then I think you got to throw the fruit away. I think edible arrangements owes a refund. The fruit's got to be gone. That's it.
Now, do you know, Biggie, if they use their own drivers? Like, I think I've seen edible arrangement vans.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a DoorDash thing.
Correct.
Oh, okay. See, I always figured there was just, somewhere in the city.
No.
I didn't know they had their own shops.
I've seen their own vans.
Okay.
I think the lady at the door had an edible arrangement shirt on. A collared shirt.
Well, the vans probably have to be at least cooled, refrigerated.
You're right. It's like a flower van. You can't just put them in the back of a car.
Yeah.
Exactly. The other controversy today, Keith Urban is absolutely denying this, but a radio station in Australia is saying that Keith Urban hung up on them. You know Keith Urban, the country star, married to Nicole Kidman.
Superstar.
Yeah, big time star. Married to Nicole Kidman, and the word is that he hung up on the radio station.
What's the name of the show?
Let me look it up. Hold on. I've got it. I don't have it in front of me. It's a different part of the grid. Here we go. So Keith Urban calls in to do an interview with Haley and Max in the morning on Mix 102.3. in Australia, Sydney. And so he's doing this interview, and in the middle of it, he hangs up because they ask him about his wife, Nicole Kidman, doing love scenes with different movie stars. And is he jealous of this?
The first thing I thought of, with your beautiful wife, Nicole Kidman, being on so many great movies, TV shows all the time. I watched a movie with her and Zac Efron recently, Family Affair, and I thought,
that's a good one.
What does Keith Urban think when he sees his beautiful wife with beautiful younger men like Zac Efron having these beautiful love scenes on TV and radio? Oh, why has that happened? What's just happened to you?
He's disconnected from Zoom.
Did he just hang up on us?
I think his team hung up on us because they didn't want us to ask that question.
Now, the team is denying that. They're just
The
saying...
Urban team.
The Keith Urban team said he did not hang up on radio hosts.
There was no click. It just stopped.
And I guess they could see the light disappear.
They said it was Zoom.
Well, it was a Zoom. I guess that's right. Yeah, okay. I guess it just went away.
Was it on video too somewhere?
It was a Zoom. Yeah, it was, yeah.
I definitely think he hung up on purpose.
You do. His team may have.
Well, yeah, well, or he just,
But it's not that... The headlines are all like, it's such a racy, scandalous, salacious question. It really isn't.
Not at all. I thought that's weird. Why would you hang up on something
To me,
like
that's
that?
not a hang-upable question.
But he may not want to answer that. He's like, I'm not talking about her.
But he did
these
say
sex scenes.
when they brought up the movie, Urban did say, "Oh yeah, that was a good movie."
Yeah. And
he didn't sound offended by that.
they said, the team says he's easygoing. He doesn't mind those kinds of questions. I mean, certainly that was fairly innocuous. So they said he did not hang up on them. Do you think it just was a glitch somehow in the Zoom technology?
Could have been a glitch. We've seen it many, many times on this program. We're not at the level of Haley and Max.
No.
At 102.3 whatever, Adelaide.
Clearly not.
But stars have sometimes very limited time windows.
Yeah.
Well, we know this all too well about Mick Fleetwood.
Mick Fleetwood, you got cut off not by Mick. Mick would have talked all day, but his people had to step in.
His team. And I had gone into this interview saying, he's on our time. We will decide when this interview ends.
You're lucky to be on our air.
You're lucky to be on our
Mick
air.
Fleetwood.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I even told you, and that's when you really buckled down, because I said, you've got 8 to 10 minutes. That's it. Oh, no. I'm going to push it. He's going to answer the questions I have, and when I'm done, he's done.
Every single question.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to me, a member of his team was listening. So when I tried for my real gotcha question at the end, and the team member comes in and says, we don't have any more time, my reaction is, oh, yeah?
If I could ask you one more question. We
really have to move on.
Oh, okay. All right, no problem. Well, listen, thank you very much.
You see that? You don't push Chris Kelly around. You don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Keith Urban, Mick Fleetwood, whoever you are. I'll ask
So
my
you
question.
stand with Haley and Max?
I stand with Haley and Max at Mix 100.23.
Adelaide's #1 for fun.
Adelaide's #1.
Yep.
That's where I am this morning. I'm with Haley and Max, brothers in radio, brothers on air, brothers.
In sound.
In sound. And so I know what it's like to be pushed to the wall.
Well, and we know how pushy the teams can be behind the stars.
Yeah.
As I'll never forget, when we almost interviewed Don Henley, almost, his team said, listen, there's one thing you cannot talk about, the Eagles. To which we said,
okay, we'll do an interview.
We'll make it work.
We'll do an interview with Don Henley. We will not bring up the band, the Eagles. The night before, Glenn Fry died.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
That was canceled.
Everything was off the table.
But it would have been fun to do that interview. So how'd you come up with the concept for dirty laundry?
I've got some real stories to tell about that one, actually. And it's not pretty. Of the one song?
Yeah.
You know the story behind that one, don't you?
Dirty laundry. That was
the naked 12-year-old at his house.
16-year-old, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know the behind story.
Oh, he hung up.
That's a hang up.
That would have been it. You can't ask about anything Eagles or dirty
Do
laundry.
Sunset Grill. Do anything else.
How'd you come up with Sunset Grill?
It was actually Bar and Grill down the street from our home. Dirty laundry. The one song, Biggie.
You can't do that one.
I never knew that.
How'd you come up with Boys of Summer?
Okay, yeah, that's better.
Yeah, Deadhead sticker.
Yeah,
Do
do all that. That's right.